Hey, what's up, guys? It's WiseGuyVito here, and today I have another video for you guys. This will be a kind of like a guide video slash what do I think is runs well with the Wasp. The Wasp is a support weapon that was released about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and in my opinion, I do think that it is one of the better support weapons in the game. A lot of people tend to think this weapon is not that great, but I will show you today how I think that I think it's very severely underrated. I think it's actually a very, very good support weapon. So as always, like, share, and subscribe, and let's get straight into the video. So the Wasp is a lot like the Spear, meaning that it has a lock-on system to it. It can hold seven rounds. It can hold at most 8, but you need one in the chamber, I guess. One in the chamber, and then you just need to reload, and then you can have 8. It has 2 firing modes. The first firing mode is, of course, like the normal Wasp firing mode, I guess. It'd be where it fires 1 rocket at a time, and then you get one that's like artillery, which is it fires all 7 or 8 rounds at once. In my opinion, the artillery is not good. This needs a buff, in my opinion, with the Wasp, but the primary firing mode is really, really good. The Wasp is not really meant for heavily armored targets, unless we're talking about maybe Hulks. But as far as other heavy armor targets, you either need to hit sweet spots with the Wasp, or just use 2 or 3 mags with, or 2 or 3 canisters, because they're not mags, they're really canisters of missiles in order to actually, kill the heavy armor target that you're trying to kill, right? Whether this might be, chargers. Biles to a degree, even then Biles maybe take 4 or 5. I wouldn't even try this on Striders, but anyways, it's more or less a medium armor busting or medium armored enemy busting support weapon. In my opinion, it's very, very good against the automatons. It's probably the best against automatons, because you are, most of the enemies that you will be running into is Devastators. This thing is a Devastator killing machine. It is so very good. Another good thing about the Wasp on the automaton front is that if you do hit a Hulk from the rear, you will kill it extremely quickly. So in my opinion, I think that's also very, very good as well. It takes like maybe 2 or 3 shots in order to kill a Hulk, whereas if you were to shoot it in the front, it'll weaken the front plate enough to where if you have like a Senator or something like that, and most of these clips you'll see, I will be using a Senator, you'll be able to 1 or 2 tap the red eye of the Hulk. Against turrets, it's really, really good against turrets. It'll take the little small turrets at the fortresses probably around 2 or 3 shots to kill. In my mind, that's good value. For the bigger turrets that are more like I'm gonna call them tank turrets, because they fire just 1 shot that insta kills you. Those type of turrets, if you shoot them from behind, it takes like 2 to 3 shots, or maybe more or less 3 to 4 shots. If you hit them from the front, again, you would have to expend nearly all the magazine or all the canister in order to kill the turret. So in my opinion, this is not really worth it. I mean, you can do it, but sometimes it'll kill it and sometimes it won't. It's kind of inconsistent there, but mainly you just want to use it against Devastators. Usually it will take just 1 rocket. For like the chicken walkers, you will have to fire 2, so just keep that in mind. On the bug front of things, I do think this is also really, really good as well, because you can kind of soften up enemy patrols very, very effectively, in my opinion. It's not like the airburst where you just fire 1 shot and then it wipes out the entire patrol, of course, but what it does is that you aim for the more high value targets and then you clean up with your primary. Again, it's mainly for medium armored targets, and also for more of those big softer targets that have like a ton of HP to them. It's not really good against Chargers, in my opinion. Again, like, you have to shoot them from behind. It's not really good against Bile Titans either. I would not use this against Bile Titans. I would just mainly use this against Nursing Spewers, Bile Spewers, Commanders. you can actually use this as an effective crowd control because it will lock on to warriors as well and hive guardians. So you just fire one and it'll take out like a small cluster of bugs, maybe 4 to 5 of them at a time with one little wasp little rocket or little bullet thing or whatever. So I think that's really good. Against the illuminate, the problem with the illuminate is that you mainly just want to use the wasp against like overseers and drones. You don't want to use this against the walkers. Usually there's one overseer in a mix of voteless. So once you use the wasp on one voteless, it should kill, you know, a good portion of voteless. You'll kill like 4 or 5 voteless, and then you might have to clean up with your primary, right? The problem with the wasp, though, on the illuminate side of things, is that the flyers are very, very annoying because you'll fire like one rocket, like 1 or 2 rockets. It usually takes 1 rocket to kill an overseer, by the way, which is really, really good. But the problem against the flying voteless is that whenever you fire 1 rocket, it'll just completely avoid it because it has high maneuverability, right? So what I took on these missions is that I took the Halt. The Halt, I think, is being severely underrated right now. I think it's one of the best shotguns in the game currently because it has armor-piercing flechette rounds, which is very, very good. Medium armor pen flechette rounds, which is good. But it also has stun rounds. And with this, and what I do is that I just use the stun rounds. So you want to switch to the stun rounds, shoot 1 volley. That's all that it takes. 1 volley of stun rounds to stun the flyers, and it halts them completely. Pull out your wasp, fire once, right? That's if you cannot absolutely, like, you just cannot hit these things, right? The more farther the target is for overseers, the more likely you are to hit them. Of course, the closer the target is, the harder it's going to be, right? So, in my opinion, like, I do think that the wasp is very, very good. I do think that it needs some love in certain places. Like the other firing mode is just completely worthless. It's not worth it. Don't use it until they buff it in some way, shape, or form. It's not really used for a crowd control means. And until they do something to it, you know, I don't think that you should be using the artillery. But the actual burst fire or I believe that's actually what the mode is called, the burst fire mode, where you just fire 1 rocket at a time, or you can just completely just volley all of them at once. But it'll be just in a full auto per session. That is the one that you need to be using. And in my opinion, I do think the Wasp is a very, very good support weapon whenever it comes down to, again, medium armor target. With it, I use the Holt and the Senator with it. And then as far as the other stratagems, you can bring sentries with this. I think sentries work actually well with the Wasp, particularly because it kind of covers like anything that's coming really up close and personal to you. But you want to really have stratagems that handle heavily armored targets because that's what you're going to be more weak to. Again, you're going to be an elite killing force to be reckoned with. But as far as the more heavily armored targets, you're going to need help in that regard. So, as always, comment down below what you guys think about the Wasp. Like, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate the support that's been given to me the past month. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.